Well, in Trump world, I don't recall is not perjury. When Cassidy Hutchinson testified to the January 6th committee, she told them what her Trump-paid lawyer told her.
Stefan never told me to lie to the committee. I don't want you to perjure yourself, he insisted. But I don't recall isn't perjury.
Of course, I don't recall is perjury when you do recall, which is why Cassidy Hutchinson chose not to follow that lawyer's advice and commit perjury by sticking to the lie of I don't recall. She got rid of that lawyer, and she went on to tell the truth to the committee. Yesterday, Donald Trump's first daughter, guided by a Trump-paid lawyer, demonstrated her fidelity to the family principle of I don't recall is not perjury when she repeatedly testified under oath that she did not recall anything about loan agreements that she was involved in for the family business. While on the witness stand in a Manhattan courtroom with a New York Assistant Attorney General showing her own emails about those loan details, Ivanka Trump stuck to the family under oath motto, I don't recall. New York's Attorney General, Letitia James, said this.
Her testimony raises some questions with regards to its credibility. At the end of the day, this case is about fraudulent statements of financial condition that she benefited from. She was enriched. And clearly, you cannot distance yourself from that fact. The documents do not lie. The numbers do not lie.
The numbers do not lie. But did Ivanka Trump lie? Bloomberg's Tim O'Brien, who literally wrote the book about the Trump family business, says this.
It's curious to me because she wasn't taking the fifth, which in a civil case would be an admission essentially of acknowledgement or guilt. She was just saying she couldn't remember. She couldn't remember details about the old post office building in Washington, D.C. that the Trumps turned into the Trump International Hotel. She couldn't remember details about the Doral Golf Club purchase in Florida, one of probably his single biggest golf course acquisition, and so on and so forth. And Ivanka is somebody who remembers the colors of the walls and how they were painted in every project that they worked on. She could tell you how many new windows were put in every project. She could tell you, I think, how many new tiles were put in the floors. She could tell you the interest rate on loans that they received. She could talk about the amount of debt leveraged against each property that they owned. So the idea that suddenly in this courtroom she can't really recall specifics about valuations and how that tied into statements that the Trumps gave to the banks is more than passing strange. And I suspect, since there's not a jury present, none of this is really being lost on Arthur Engoron, the judge hearing this case, because for now he's essentially the jury of one for the Trumps.
Today, Donald Trump's lawyers tried to short-circuit the case by asking the judge to find in Donald Trump's favor because of what they consider the weakness of Michael Cohen's testimony in this stage of the case. The judge said he would consider that request. The Trump defense lawyers will begin presenting their case on Monday. They have told the judge that the first witness for the defense will be co-defendant Donald Trump Jr.